Well, it didn't happen, did it? I was hoping to do the second part of today's video, bringing you some glorious news that Liverpool had slipped up at Anfield, but they didn't, and they were pretty good in the end. I'm not going to lie, Liverpool won 2-0 against Chelsea, and it looks like we're going to have to win every single game. Liverpool keep marching on, Manchester City keep marching on. And it's so close. Well, whoever wins this league, I've got to say, phenomenal effort from both teams involved. Liverpool keep on winning, but basically, I'm going to review this whole kind of like weekend and the game and all that kind of stuff and what it means and so on. Essentially, I'm going to review the game mainly because, as you saw in the other video, and here it's here. Now go watch that. Essentially, that was my quick match reaction to the Crystal Palace 3-1 victory. I thought I'd basically do that quickly and hope that this one would be after Liverpool dropping points. Didn't happen, but I'm going to talk about City Palace anyway and just look ahead a little bit. In general, at the end of the video, I'll look at the fixtures City and Liverpool have got coming up because it's been a hugely exciting, hugely interesting week in the title race. And we're down to 5 games left for City, 4 games left for Liverpool, and we've never seen two teams with this many points at this stage of the season going head to head. It's absolutely unprecedented, and it's exciting. It's terrifying. It's nerve-wracking. But it's definitely exciting. I cannot wait for a break after this season away from football. I'm not going to watch the Copa America, the Women's World Cup, anything like that. I'm going to just switch off and pretend football never happened and have a nice little bit of rest during the transfer mayhem because I need it. It's adding 8 years to my age, this genuinely is. But anyway, City won 3-1. Basically, you've already seen my thoughts maybe on that other video today, but this is a more considered match review than that very quick reaction. I didn't really go into detail in that video, sorry. But this is a video I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So we'll talk about Manchester City's 3-1 victory over Crystal Palace because that's a huge game, a huge result for us. Right, basically, I'll go through the starting lineup, obviously. It was strong. It made me feel a lot better. There was a few people notably absent. No, Zinchenko didn't make the squad. Not quite ready yet for this kind of running. Fernandinho not involved, which I think is just a precaution. He'll be back on Wednesday. Bernardo on the bench. But we did see the return of Benjamin Mendy at left back. Kompany came in alongside Laporte. I was really happy about that. And at right back, we saw Kyle Walker. Edison in goal, of course. Then Gundogan dropped deep because of no Fernandinho as a number 6. Then ahead of him, we had the old school link-up of all the big 5 essentially. De Bruyne, David Silva, Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling and Sergio Aguero. Sané in from the cold and obviously linking up with Benjamin Mendy, which is something we haven't seen very often, but it's always fun to watch. Sterling back on the right as opposed to being on the left as he has recently, and Aguero through the middle. It was a strong lineup and one that made me feel really confident going into the game. I've been absolutely terrified beforehand, really nervous and genuinely shitting it. Not literally shitting. No, I didn't. Don't spread that rumour. I did not have diarrhea. I've been very nervous about this game, and I've been dreaming that City would just gonna mess it up. It wasn't bad, but did happen thankfully in the end. But that was a strong team, and Kompany was saying all the right things beforehand, saying City you're gonna see the normal City. None of this kind of like tentative stuff we saw midweek. We're gonna see City control games, and that's exactly what happened into the first half. And City basically were good. There was a brilliant bit of play from Silva early on when he kind of cut back and dribbled past in the kind of like half space area and cut it back to Sterling, who missed an absolute sitter. But that was classic Silva. It was really nice to see. Pure Silva. But then Sterling's sitter was absolutely awful. It was genuinely a really bad finish with his left foot, kind of scuffed it wide, a nervy finish, which is unlike Sterling these days, given the amount of goals he scores. But after that, it was all City, kind of City probing, looking for an opening. And obviously, a beautiful goal from Raheem Sterling, a pure Aguero-esque finish. That composure for that. After the miss as well, fantastic when he lifted it into the roof. And obviously, we can't downplay Kevin De Bruyne's pass as well. His legs and his body finally catching up to with his head there. A fantastic pass, a very Kevin De Bruyne pass. People play down the pass, but it was the weight of the pass, absolutely perfect. Sterling with the finish as well. And he took all the pressure away from the City fans. We could relax into the game. There was a few good moments other than that as well. Particularly some great defensive work from Gundogan as well, where the ball was dinked into our area and he did a very Fernandinho-esque kind of whip clear thing. There's also a great moment from Sané when he ran past a few players, ran past Aaron Wan-Bissaka and became the first player this season to do multiple take-ons over Wan-Bissaka, which is a hell of an accomplishment because it shows how good Sané is. His shot was saved at the near post, but it was typically Sané and absolutely brilliant. On to the second half, City basically just kind of repeated the first half performance. We were very good, very good. We just controlled the game largely. It was an early moment from Kevin De Bruyne across, but Silva couldn't quite control it. Then it was a bit of a scramble as well. Actually, the first half there was a scramble where that kind of Gundogan chip and De Bruyne fired wide. That was the first half, so ignore my notes there. But the second half, it was kind of more of the same really. We just kept composed. We kept kind of chipping away at a very stoic, a very kind of stubborn Crystal Palace defence. Eventually, we got the second goal. It was a fantastic goal as well. Aguero dinked it over to Silva. Silva cut it back to Sane. A beautiful whipped cross from Sane, and Sterling fired in with his left foot into the bottom corner. Cue delirium in the away end. Another assist for Leroy Sane. He's got more assists now than anyone else currently playing their trade in the top flight of English football. More assists across all competitions than that is. 17, I think it is now for him. He's an absolute assist machine, and he was great today. After that, basically, City looked pretty composed. We got a bit scared when Miliev I can't even say it. Luka Milihelevic, I don't know. Either way, he scored a very decent free kick. Ederson maybe could have done better, but that kind of set panic among City a little bit. I wasn't too nervous though, because I thought we were playing good football, and the 2 minutes after that showed that City were quite composed. We took the sting out of the game. We controlled the ball for a little bit. I didn't give them a chance to get back into the game, and eventually on the counter we got the third goal. Gabriel Jesus, maybe offside. It was so marginal that it shouldn't really matter in my opinion, but that's football for you. And it was a good finish indeed. He kind of clipped it into the near post. I had immediate Sane, Sterling, Gabriel Jesus flashbacks from a couple of years ago when he arrived on the scene. That was a hell of a partnership, and it showed a glimpse of the future, and I still think it could be a glimpse of the future, but that was enough for Manchester City to sweep up the 3 points. It was a very composed performance. Individually, Ederson was fine with his distributions ever. Now, some people said maybe he was too central for that free kick. I'm not a goalkeeping coach expert, but it did look that way to me as well. Maybe he could have done a bit more with their free kick. Maybe his position wasn't quite right. And it looked like, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, that Guardiola had a word with the goalkeeping coach about that. He didn't look happy at all. But I could just be speculating there, so don't take that as gospel. Don't take everything I say as gospel. I'm just some idiot YouTuber guy anyway. But Ederson, he was okay. He was there. Maybe could have done better with the goal. Walker was absolutely fantastic. We've got to give Kyle Walker credit where it's due, because that's twice now competitive games at Selhurst Park, competitive consecutive games at Selhurst Park, where he shut down Zaha. He was absolutely excellent. So good against one of the most informed wingers in the league. Didn't give him a sniff, and he had to go over to the right-hand side where he didn't get a touch as well from Mendy over on the other side. So Walker, fantastic. Mendy, the only thing he lacked really was his bombarding runs, but other than that, I thought he was solid defensively. He obviously made a really concerted effort to be really disciplined in his performances and tried to be really focused, and you could tell that he got more comfortable as the game progressed. I thought it was obvious that he was confident, and his trust in his body was starting to come back the more he played, and I thought it was a very good performance from Mendy. Like, it wasn't like a standout performance, but it was a solid performance, and given the context of his injuries, given the context of a very difficult time he's had at Manchester City Football Club, I thought it was a good performance in that context, because he could have easily had a stinker because his fitness couldn't have been quite there, but as it is, he showed that there is life in the old dog yet, the young French party dog, whatever he is, whatever. Either way, Mendy was decent. He should be very happy. But the centre-backs were flawless. Kompany, tough, stoic as always. Very quick to move the ball, getting it out of his feet and pass it crisply. Laporte received special praise from Guardiola after, because his distribution was absolutely fantastic. Generally was. He was pinging 60, 70-yard balls out to the wingers. And he was doing that all game, breaking the lines. Very Guardiola-esque performance from his centre-backs there. And I thought both were fantastic, and the exact right call as well. I'm really glad he went for those two, because I thought the balance was excellent. Gundogan, I thought, was really good, genuinely. I thought he was very positive. Every time he got the ball, he ran towards goal and faced forward, didn't pass it sideways, didn't keep it simple. And as I said, in the first half, he had one particularly good bit of defending where he spotted the runners, got into the 6-yard area and cleared it. Those kind of moments will go a long way to make him a valuable member of the squad. And he was very vocal midweek as well about City, criticising our performances. So he was obviously up for this game. Thought Gundogan had a good game, as did Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne was excellent. It's not just his brain, and Guardiola once again afterwards said he sees things that other humans don't see. Now, I'm not sure if that's a reference to Messi not being human, something like that, but De Bruyne definitely has this inbuilt vision that is almost impossible to teach. In fact, you can't see it. He just sees things quicker than everyone else on the pitch. A fantastic footballer, and today, not just his ability, what I loved about him is his aggression, his fieriness, how he was shouting at Aguero for not being quick enough to react to one of his crosses, how he was tracking back and being an absolute bastard and getting to arguments and kind of being tough with Crystal Palace players, and how he was forcing us forward in the 90th minute. That's pure Kevin De Bruyne, an absolute leader, and it's so good to have him back in sync with his best abilities in terms of his head and his feet. They're back in sync together, and it's a beautiful sight. Fantastic performance from him. David Silva as well. He wasn't like scintillating, but he was good. I made a tweet beforehand that it's really nice to see Sane and Silva playing together because in general, no one links up with Sane as well as David Silva does because they have this kind of telepathic communication between the two. And I thought Silva was really good today. He was generally good. He'd gone from like sixes, he's been pretty average, to a good 7.5 out of 10, I reckon, today. It was a good performance, a solid performance, and it showed some of his creativity. He could have had an assist if Sterling finished better, and I thought Silva was good before he was replaced from Bernardo. Bernardo put in a very good shift as a substitute, as you'd expect him. Leroy Sané, I thought he was, excellent, really good, really creative. Not like a magnificent performance, but a very good performance. He worked really hard. He tracked back. He gave Wan-Bissaka, one of the best defensive fullbacks in the league, a very torrid time as he kept running and running and running. But that's pure Leroy Sané for you. Sterling as well, a couple of goals. He could have easily hidden after that first miss, but fantastic once again from Leroy Sané. Raheem Sterling, from both of them are goal scoring and assist machines there. Aguero didn't have a good game, but it didn't really matter in the end. Jesus came on, got his goal, very good cameo performance from him. But overall, a fantastically important victory, composed, professional, mature display in very difficult circumstances. Now, as it stands, Liverpool are back at the top of the table, of course, but they have played one more game. These are the fixtures on the screen now, either side of me. What do you make of them? Let's be honest, our run is definitely harder there. It's definitely harder. We've got Spurs at home, a big game. United away, an even bigger game. Burnley away, which isn't going to be easy because Burnley away is never easily. Obviously, last season we drew there. Won the last season before that 2-1, but it was hard even then. Leicester at home, Brighton away. That's a tricky bunch of fixtures. Just 5 left. We are in the business end of the season. Liverpool have Cardiff away, which looks like a banker. Huddersfield at home, same again. Newcastle away will be difficult. Rafa Benitez will want to get something at Liverpool. Almost certain. And then Wolves are no mugs at all. And given it's the last game of the season, given the fact that Wolves have had a good season in general, and they might want to give their travelling fans a big day out. But in general, it looks like we're going to have to win all those games because Liverpool are going to win those 4 games. I'm saying that now. I think they will. Maybe it won't. They may slip up one somewhere, but I just can't see it. I cannot underestimate how important this run of a game is now. Obviously, we've got the Champions League game against Spurs. Fingers crossed we can win that. And that could lead us then to a difficult semi-final against some Juventus or Ajax. Liverpool, of course, could get Barcelona or Man United. Either way, those games are going to be mentally testing and they're going to push them hugely. But don't be surprised, Liverpool actually do prioritise the league. Honestly, can see that maybe happening because it's such a big chance for them. They'll never get a chance like it again, especially if City drop points. Fingers crossed, touch wood and all that we don't. It isn't a good run in for us, but it could be more difficult, but it's very difficult. If you get past Spurs United, I'll feel confident if you win those games. It doesn't look good, does it? It doesn't look good at all. But fingers crossed we can do it. We've got to keep winning. Guardiola says we have to win all our games. And we're very capable of doing that. The squad look up for it. The performance was very good today. And I'm very happy with the performance in general. And we can't complain too much, can we? Now, we've rested a few players at midweek and then we brought them in today to win this game, which Guardiola, according to some sources, more important individually. I don't know what word I was trying to say there. More important individually as a game. And he's probably right on that front, but let's hope it doesn't backfire with a big performance against Spurs on Wednesday. Fingers crossed. Guys, go and see some more thoughts from the game earlier if you want to, from the video made earlier. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you made of that game in the comments below. Thank you to all these guys scrolling down the side. My patrons, patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany. If you're watching this and you're one of my Patreon subscribers, make sure you get your Q&A questions in for that so I can do it soon. Because you have to have questions so I can do the video. If you want to get involved, as I said, patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany. If not, just enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep watching these videos, like, subscribe, comment, and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you tomorrow.